All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner, Giants Nation, with another draft film breakdown from the Giants draft class. This time looking at BYU linebacker Jack Kelly, 6'1", 240 pounds. Had 10 sacks and 13 and a half tackles for a loss. Crazy production for an inside linebacker. Played that like joker linebacker role. You're going to see him lined up in the line of scrimmage or right behind the defensive line quite a bit. A very unique player, right? And one, the way that BYU used him, but also just kind of all over the place in some of his numbers and production. And we'll get into that because I think it's there's going to be a lot of good in here, but also a lot of like, hey, does this get him on the field type of questions that we'll get into. So first, make sure to like and subscribe. We have the film breakdowns up for the Giants' first 4 picks. This one is out now as you're listening, and then tomorrow the final 2, Bobby Jamison Travis and JC Davis, will be out. Wanted to let the draft recap breathe a little bit, so like and subscribe. Go check out the draft recap too. Best in the game, in my opinion. All right, first play. We're going to start off with a little bit of sexy here, right? A little bit of, hey, Cleveland Browns, that's the guy you drafted right 1 pick in front of Francis Mauigoa, right? That's him right there, right? You know, that is number 9. Number 9 right there. All right, let's see what happens here. Number 193 blows right past you. So there's not a ton of breakdown on this one, but I did want to start off with him just beating Spencer Fano. This is probably the fastest I've seen him move on an individual play. I mean, just get upfield, right? Solid flexibility, speed, get around that corner, and then finish it for the sack. Good stuff. Now, the other pass rush stuff is where you see actually more of a pass rush plan for Jack Kelly. So this play here, and again, we're starting off with pass rush for an inside linebacker. That should tell the story a little bit, right? Blow up a running back. You know, he did a good job to find creases and avoid blocks, but when he did have to, take on a running back, boom, blow his ass up. Right? He's a stout player, strong. Blow him up, force that quarterback out of the pocket. Next play. Right? Lined up over here on the B gap. Running back assignment. Work through him. Force a bad pass. Right? Dip through. Keep your feet moving. And then again, get the hit on the quarterback. Watch out. So this is all nice, one clean motion for him. Right? Feet never stop working. Hands being used. Good stuff. Now, here's where most of the sack production came on, was these cross dog blitzes. Which again is a little bit of scheme, but the player has got to finish the play. This is where basically what they're doing, to do a quick little, breakdown of what this blitz is we're going to take this player and bring him out here to try and bring the protection here. And then we're going to blitz this linebacker here, linebacker play up, and then loop around and try and get the sack. All right, so now he's occupied here. They're sliding to the defensive lineman here. Take advantage of a weak protection call. And then Jack Kelly finishes the play. And again, like, he's got to finish this play. You see these offensive linemen see it, right? Both of these cats see it. Just keep your feet moving through that. Don't let that slow you down. Track him down. Get the sack, right? That's 1 of 10. Next play. Right? Same exact blitz, just called to the opposite side of the offensive line. Right? Good lateral mobility. Right? Keep this nice and tight. Good knee bend, low to the ground. Finish the play. Sack. Similar thing here. And you're playing that joker, send the blitz, keep your feet moving through this weak block. Right? Don't, try and take on contact. Keep your feet moving. Unfortunately, quarterback's able to throw that one away. And then this one doesn't really count, but I want to just put it on here. This is an RPO sack that he gets. Quarterback, the throw is just not there. Go finish the play and get a sack in your stat book. And against the run, right? So now we're going to talk about the run defense. he, out of 24 linebackers drafted in this class, was dead last in run stop rate. Right, he had the dead last in the amount of run stops he got, which is tackles essentially near the line of scrimmage, successful tackles in the run game, not tackled 8 yards down the field. He didn't have a lot of total tackles either. The way he plays is very much run and chase. So if he's ever going to get on the field defensively, he will be as a will linebacker, or or maybe when you in some base defense, you put him out on the edge as that Sam. But you're going to have to put him in kind of a run and chase or pass rush role because that's where his wins comes from. Right? We're going to talk about some of the negatives here eventually, but there's just not much processing. It is very much following the action, which he does good. Right? He's aggressive. Here, follow that action. Terrible camera work while we make the tackle over here. Here, we're lined up over on top of the tight end. Right, they want to pull at us, dip around that block, make the play. Right, seeing the action, just using block avoidance and sweep out the legs from the running back. Here against Utah, they're all backed up against their own end zone. Just getting out to the alley, follow the play well. Right. He's reading. All right, fullback's working this way. They're running that way. We just go. Follow the action. Chase the ball, make a play. Here on the backside of this run. Right, does a good job on the backside of runs. We'll talk about some of the front side where he gets occupied with, some blockers. But just a good job on the backside to identify and just go. Go, find the ball, track him down, make the play. Next play here. Just avoiding traffic. Trace the running back well. Be a part of the stop. Next play. See how just aggressive we're getting in this? Right? They're zone reading it. The reality is that his gap is right here. That is his gap, right? For the defense right here, actually, you know what? I might have screwed this up. Wrong. I'm wrong. It's a run blitz. Wow. Screw up by this guy. So they're going to tell him to work here. And then Jack Kelly get over the top and make the stop. Now, again, it's a 4 or 5 yard run. But, that's not on him. He plays this very well, making those types of run stops. What I want to see him do more in the run game, like I said, I'm not going to ask, process this better, take on this block, with better hands. I think he has the aggression to just power through the shoulder of offensive linemen like this. Like nothing special, but he's got a low center of gravity. He's stout. He's strong. Just get to their shoulder. Keep your feet moving, right? That's something that he does so well, and that's why he has that pass rush production is by just keeping his feet moving, never dying on a play. Keep your feet moving, open it up, and hey, maybe that helps make the play for somebody else, or, that's always a successful run, or you're making the play yourself, like on this play right here. Or just get aggressive, play through, low, rip through, go over there and make the play in the run game. And then, on the counter side of like the aggression and just, chasing the play, that can lead to mental mistakes as well, too, in the run game, which you see quite a bit for him. Let's go through this first play. You love the aggression. Right, so they're running pin and pull, which means, this receiver is going to block down on him. And guess what? We want you to blow that up, right? We want to blow that up, and you got to get out to the play. But what we don't want is you deciding that you want to just bully this little receiver, and the running back is just running right past you, right? Like there's got to be some, idea of like, hey, this is where the run's going to be, tracing the running back with it, and instead we're just getting in a, like trying to punk some receiver, and the run is coming behind us. on the front side of this play. They're going to run power O. Another crack block from the tight end. Like we just got to get, if you're on the front side of that, you got to get over there quicker, right? This tight end, you can't just take this tight end on head on, right? You're not getting downhill. You got to get out to the sideline, right? You got to either see this and get over the top of it, or you got to rip underneath it and make the play. Instead, you're just getting occupied, and then overplaying some of these stretch runs. Right, you can't just chase and see a stretch run. Let me get outside. You got to stay square, read the run, force them to declare, and make the play. Because if even if this guard doesn't get all the way out here like he does to see him off, in reality, what the guard should do is just get in this player's hip, and then you have an easier cut back up for the running back. On this next one. Right, just overplaying it, right? Just like we said. We're supposed to be here, right? We're supposed to be here reading this run. Instead, we're totally outrunning it. And so the next part is simply missed tackles. Like I said, out of 24 linebackers, he had the one more play. Oh yeah, this was the play I was talking about. Just jumping inside on the puller. Right? Like you gotta understand where your help is. I got a little ahead of myself with the missed tackle thing. You got to understand where your help is, right? Your help is from the inside. You got to get outside of this tackle. I know this running back looks like he's going to cut it up, but he is going to cut it up until you spill inside. And now the running back has all of this room to get a chunk play because we wanted to be the hero on that play instead of letting our teammates do their jobs. So this was talking about the missed tackle thing. He's last in this class for run stop rate. He's also the worst in missed tackle rate, right? There's just a lot of missed tackles that show up, and they're in different ways. Sometimes it's just guys, being stronger than him, open field juke like that, guys just running through him. And then also there's moments which we'll see those where it's just like this. Now I don't think this even counts as a missed tackle on the snap, but just like you got to go out there and make that play. We got to be stronger than that. Like if you want to play linebacker, you got to finish some of these plays. And then sometimes it's like this where you got to win this, right? You cannot let the running back get you out to the corner because the NFL guys are just going to burn you. And that happened as well too, where it's just sometimes the lack of speed would show up. So that's an issue. That's an issue that could keep him off the field. Hopefully it's something we can get better at. But it is an issue for him, and it's the reason why he had the highest missed tackle rate in the class. In coverage, I think there is some limitations because of speed if you put him in man coverage, but I like the way he plays coverage. Coverage. It's aggressive, get him in trouble, but I like the way he plays in coverage. So here we are. We've got red zone quarters for the defense, right? So for the defense, we've got a cover 4 right deep. So we got our deep quarters here, and then we've got our 3 underneath defenders. What the offense is trying to do is they're going to have this basically almost like a wheel route to try and pull this line, pull Jack Kelly out. Right, this is Jack Kelly here. And then run this player on the slant, this clear out, and they're just looking for this whole, this bit of space right here. And Kelly just does a great job reading it. Right, so Kelly, get hands on this, right? Pass that off to your deep quarter, and then find this, right? So what the quarterback reads is Kelly opening up his hips with this and thinks, okay, easy completion, right? This is going to clear out this linebacker. He's opened up. Bam. Instead, Kelly turns. Bam. Get our hands on the football for a pass breakup. I love that, right? Next play here at middle linebacker. They're going to run mesh. And the way he plays this by just reading out the concept, cutting things off, leads to a sack for BYU. Right, so the first thing that the quarterback is reading is the running back, right? The running back. If the running back's not there, the next thing that we want to hit is this receiver here. Right? And this is all while his zone is just right here, right here. This is his zone, right? But we understand what's happening, right? We understand what he knows what play call is for the offense, and this is a clean pass off for this player right here. Clean pass off into here. Now, quarterback could hit this, but that's still not on Kelly. But the last of the progression is this sit in the middle of the field, and guess what? Kelly goes and undercuts that. Quarterback's got nowhere to go, right? As this, this mesh player is working into this linebacker over here. Love it. Aggression, right? There's some good and there's some bad here, right? He's the middle of the field player. Read the quarterback's eyes and cut it off. Again, leads to another sack. You see the quarterback's opening up. We understand we've got some type of, in-breaking route here. Go and undercut this. Now, I think the quarterback might have been wanting to throw this here, and it holstered because the receiver slipped. But, this was, this could have easily been the throw. Go and cut it off, right? Where, if there's a double slant, go and cut it off. I love that. Now, and it ends up not leading to a sack, but a throwaway. And in man coverage, you don't want to put him in man coverage a ton. We'll show an example to finish. But he understands it, gets hands on, sees the throw, gets his head around, ball's overthrown. But the aggressiveness can also get him in trouble. Let's first we show him you make this tackle out here on this smoke route. The aggressiveness can get him in trouble, right? Reading the quarterback's eyes, but I like that. I live with that. But here's an example, right? He's got middle of the field, coverage, right? The defense is in cover 3. He's got the middle of the field, right? He's got the shallow middle of the field. He sees quarterback eyes, thinking, all right, we got a slant here. Let me go cut it off. Quarterback gets off of it. Well, now we've left the middle of the field wide open for a slant. Right, and this is on a 2nd and 20, and this allows them to get this into, a 3rd and 1. Right? And we see. Again, I like the aggression, but if you get a book out on you like that, NFL quarterbacks will just take advantage of that all day. And then, like I said, I wouldn't want to put him in man coverage a ton, not to say that he can't have a play here or there, but, we're lined up here, man coverage on the running back, and he just runs past us, right? This is when he's not able to identify and just turn, he wants to turn and run here, but you've got this route, so you got to clear that traffic. This running back's just able to run past him. Thankfully for a bad throw, it's not completed, but that could have been an easy touchdown for him. So, like I said, Jack Kelly, an aggressive player that has legit flaws that may not let him get on the field. I know he brings some special teams value. You're not doing special teams breakdowns on this channel. Maybe you get him on the field in some situational spots, but hopefully you're all right. Grow from the missed tackle stuff, process the game a little bit better in the run game, and you could take advantage of that aggression to be a guy who could possibly play for you at some points. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's go Big Blue.